I do need to make a confession, though. I'm wearing the same exact outfit I wore last Monday.
Is that why you smell? Did you wash it? Did you wash it?
Nope.
This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned in to episode 36 of The Real Word. We had a little housekeeping for The Real Word before we get into the main topic. A little housekeeping. You gave away an Inman subscription last week.
Well, you kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I did, yes. I did. I gave away Danny over at Inman gave me a subscription to Inman, and I wanted to pay it forward. So I asked all of you guys, and only one person.
One person that we found. I didn't check somewhere else, but we're gonna give it to Jeremy anyway. He was the first person.
But my concern here is like, are you guys watching? Maybe they're already
I think
Inman.
I think most people are Inman subscribers.
Oh well, but they could have. But I could have paid for like your next year's.
Ooh, could have gotten creative. But we have a winner.
We do have a winner.
So you want to announce the winner?
Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy Applebaum of what was it? What country?
Applebaum Realty Group.
Of what state?
In Overland Park, Kansas.
Kansas. Love that.
Yeah. So congrats, Jeremy. We're gonna link up with you through Facebook Messenger.
And I love your wedding photo, by the way, too, on your Facebook page.
Gorgeous wedding photo. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Jeremy.
Phenomenal.
We'll have to reach out to you because I'll need to. I think we need like an email address.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out
Facebook
Messenger.
Get that for you.
We'll get you jacked up.
Congratulations.
The other thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to the Tom Ferry Summit.
Yes.
In next week.
Anaheim.
Which is August. I think it's like the 6th through the 9th, something like that, in Anaheim. On Monday. What is Monday? Monday's the 6th. Monday, August 6th. We are going to do The Real Word live.
Well, live. So the
problem.
Live. Wait. Can we have a conversation about that real quick though?
Sure.
Because usually The Real Word is posted on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it'll still be posted on Tuesday.
Monday, but so then how would it be live?
We're doing a live filming on Monday.
So they can watch us. If you're at the summit, you can watch us.
So we're taking.
We're not going to be on Facebook Live.
We're taking Rackets only.
Okay.
And it's going to be live. Question and answer. So the audience will propose the racket, and we will talk on the racket with no preparation.
None.
No notes.
Wow.
Just straight racketeering. All right?
You know what's really interesting about this one? I'm going to go there. So that'll be episode 37.
No, it'll be, oh yeah. What did I say? This was 36. Yeah.
Yeah.
37. What's interesting about that?
I'm 37 years old.
There's nothing interesting about there's absolutely nothing interesting. What is interesting is in Anaheim, we're going to go live. So if you're going to be at the summit, make sure, drop me a DM, drop Nicole a DM. We're going to send out some information this week, where and what time we're going to do it. We're going to do it somewhere in the hotel, in the Hilton Hotel.
Wait, are you staying in the Hilton?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm across the street.
Yeah, you're across the street. Yeah. But we're going to do it in the Hilton Hotel. So if you want to get on that list and join us for the live recording, definitely.
Oh, is it like a VIP, like invite only? Like you have to be on the list?
No, it's not going to be invite only, but if you want to make sure that you're going to get this information, I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm not necessarily emailing it out, but if you want me to send you an email.
What time is the conference on Monday?
Monday starts at like 1.
Oh, so it would probably be in the morning.
It'll be in the morning.
Before.
It'll be in the morning.
Okay.
So, and if you're not going to the summit, you should think about maybe, this is a little Tom Ferry plug here. I'm getting a little pluggish.
Pluggish?
Do
you always plug.
Do the little live feed, because it's the best conference, in my opinion, of the year. It's a State of the Union of Real Estate.
I'm just really excited about going to California.
We'll definitely be recapping the following week, everything that kind of happened. So she might be at the pool most of the time. All right.
Cool. My spray tan will wash off though.
Can't be doing that then. All right.
No.
Main topic.
Ready?
Before we get into the rackets.
Yes.
Compass's first tech licensing deal fell apart.
Yes.
Basically what they were doing, they were going to license out some of their technology to an indie brokerage in Massachusetts. Certainly some of their current agents voiced their opposition.
Right.
For them sharing their technology with quote unquote a competitor. There are plenty of Compass agents in Massachusetts. We have some friends from the 5 a.m. call that have switched out and jumped into Compass. So let me ask you this. How would you feel if your broker started licensing out their technology to competitors here in Connecticut?
I don't really think that I'd mind.
You wouldn't mind?
Should I mind?
No, you wouldn't mind?
I don't know. I guess I feel like are we even using their technology? I don't even feel like.
Yes, we are.
What are we
We're
using?
using some of their tech.
Some.
Absolutely. All their stats are phenomenal.
True.
The way they're
yes.
compiling the market stats, it's a
Yeah.
really
I guess I feel like
big advantage,
it's
I feel
interesting
like.
because there was somebody recently, I think it was maybe on like LabCoat. Oh, no. It was on LabCoat. Like, you know, he was, I don't remember what the post is. I'm just going to totally butcher it, but it was pretty much talking about like, you know, stop worrying about Zillow and like worry about your business. Like,
Right.
I feel like that's sort of, I don't really, I think that their technology is great. Like, I love our company's technology. I mean, they're pretty much using, they're using Microsoft. So I'm sure Microsoft uses.
Here's what I'll say. If you're going to license it out to competitors, you know, in the same marketplace, then what's the advantage of Compass? Is it that new pretty sign that you saw that glowed? Because that's going to be, everybody's going to have that.
I actually kind of like the sign. Way to go, Compass.
That was a nice sign. That was a whole
sign.
different. We're going to link up this article, which is the Inman article referring to their license deal falling apart. But there was another one out there.
So I guess I do. I mean, I understand their
What's
concern.
the advantage? So I think Compass now, they have a list of 30 other brokerages that are willing to license their technology.
Mm-hmm.
I think doing it in outside markets is 100% in Compass's
but
best
then
interest.
but then don't they like sort of sabotage themselves? Because then they can't enter those markets if they're like.
No, because here's what I don't think. I don't know Compass's game plan, but I think with all the money they've raised, it would be foolish for them to go into these secondary markets and like these smaller markets. But if they license their technology to these indie brokerages in a market that they're not going to infiltrate, that could be smart because it spreads their brand a little bit. That technology is going to be quote unquote powered by
or maybe
Compass.
One day Compass just absorbs them too. Maybe that's just like their first way of getting their toes wet.
100%.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Exactly.
Right.
It's brilliant for that. So we'd love your opinion. We're going to link up the article on the Compass tech deal.
But honestly, we have to link a picture of the for sale sign too, just for me, just for fun.
All right.
Let me know what you think. Because I love it.
I feel like
we're actually kind of looking at it right now.
It is very similar to this light. Yeah, this ring light. It's like a ring light, so you can see it at night.
I love it too, though, because it highlights more of the agent's name and phone number and not so much about the company. I love it.
It definitely highlighted
I'm
the
going to
agent.
give Compass an A+ on that one.
All right, Racket number 1. 15 states have chosen to make their real estate closings go fully digital. Is this a racket or not?
I think it's lovely. I think the biggest racket.
Buyers don't have to go to the closing.
Much like last time, I had no idea Connecticut was part of this list.
Yeah, what were the 15 states?
So they gave a list. They go up a little bit. It was right in there.
It's right in there. Oh, here it is. All right, I'll read off the 15. Colorado, Connecticut, which is our state.
Right.
Delaware, Hawaii, Idaho, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Jersey, Mexico, New York.
Yeah. It's New Mexico.
Mexico's not a state?
No.
New Mexico. New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Wisconsin.
I think it's really kind of fun. I really kind of want to hear more. I feel like I need to speak to some attorneys on this because you obviously still need an attorney. You still need an attorney.
No, this is basically allowing.
You don't need an attorney at all?
No. You definitely in Connecticut. You're still going to need an attorney.
Course.
Connecticut's an attorney state. What they're going to allow them to do is sign a lot of this stuff electronically,
right?
Instead of signing it in person
at a closing table. It's brilliant. I mean, the sellers don't have to be there.
This is not a racket. This is brilliant. By the way.
I mean, people are on vacation or they're away or they're like working.
What is a racket?
Yeah.
Is when you have to sit at a closing table in front of the seller or in front of the buyer because the seller chooses to not pre-sign a couple days before and shows up to the closing, and they want all the agents there and they want the lender there and everybody to sit there around this round table staring at each other in this awkward state of closing world.
So especially like because the agents don't really like, and then the agents sit there and like watch as they receive the check. I hate receiving the check because I'm like, yeah, thanks, like
thank you for the check,
and then like you're like, here are the keys, but it's like I don't know.
Do you like slide it under your stuff so they don't see the amount?
The whole thing's so awkward. Like, cool, I'm getting paid in front. I'm getting
paid in front of everybody.
I feel like my dignity is like crushed every time I'm at a closing table, and they're like,
the closing tables are the biggest.
They're like, are you CB or are you Ravis? It's like, like just.
Dude, I knew an agent.
Just drop it.
I knew an agent that used to always say, "You have so much value at the closing table," and I would always say, "You have zero value at the closing."
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you're an agent that out there believes you have value sitting at the closing table, hovering over and basically bird dogging the attorney that the clients hired to do their closing, you're a joke. And in my opinion, you don't have value anywhere else. If you actually believe you have a value sitting at the closing table, now if you're representing the buyer, you should definitely coordinate the walkthrough and make sure like the shit's legit.
Right.
But going to the closing table and acting like you practiced law for 8 years is absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
I was actually at a closing table one time. So it was one of the brokerages I've worked with in the past, whatever, has like an additional fee that the seller and buyer have to pay. And there's been a time where like the attorney actually like, I think it's like, BS that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like they're okay. Like there's so many things that are so uncomfortable about closing sometimes, especially like, I mean, there's lots of things. I mean, granted, you get super intimate when you're working with the buyer, but there's still, I mean, obviously they're going over costs and expenses and what their payments are going to be. And
right.
That's
a lot of personal stuff too.
It is super personal. And like literally you're sitting there with nothing to do, just sort of watching, I don't know.
To me, the closing should, how it's done in Connecticut where you have both parties singing across from each other, hearing that information is ludicrous. I always have felt like the closing should happen with the attorney and with the clients in closed separate rooms. If it's going to be at the same time, fine.
Well,
closed separate rooms.
That does happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then they all
usually
join.
when people hate each other, by the way.
Right. Well,
but closed separate rooms. And if there's a need for the agent to be brought back in, dude, like we have these devices.
Yeah.
FaceTime them in, call them in, her in, and get the questions answered and then move on and get the deal closed and do the job that you're hired to do as an attorney.
And I don't think Byron is saying like that, like, hey, bring them champagne. Obviously come by afterwards and make sure that they've moved in right. Follow up.
Where the house is.
Yeah, but to sit there.
You can bring champagne anytime.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so I think
How did we get there? Oh, right, we're talking about
So I think what's not a racket.
The buyer, I have so many times where buyers are like, do I have to be there in the closing day? I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, but
somebody's gotta sign.
Now they don't.
Now they don't.
She probably read the article. She probably knew that Connecticut was a state before I did.
Reading Realtor Mag. We're going to link up the Realtor Mag article about the digital home closings. I think it's super interesting.
And if you're an attorney, I'd love to know like how it's working, how it works, if you prefer it. That would be fun.
Right? All right, racket number 2, Overstock.com is entering real estate through the property management biz.
Who isn't at this point?
Dude, everybody wants your lunch.
They want a piece.
Absolutely.
It makes sense, though. They're saying that they sell goods now for your home, so why not?
Am I pathetic that I didn't know who Overstock.com was?
He had no idea. He's like, what's Overstock? Are you nuts, boy?
Sam, am I nuts?
He knows what Overstock is.
But Sam knows everything. It's not fair when you ask Sam. He's like a wealth of knowledge over there. He does have a lot of interesting tidbits.
He just says yes, just to.
No, I do feel like not knowing Overstock.com is probably.
Overstock has been around forever. It's a furniture, like it's. I think that it's.
This is basically like a Home Goods online.
Yes, but it's actually a little bit more expensive than Home Goods. But yes, it's cheaper than like cost. Yeah, I mean the thought is it's Overstock, right? Like they have overstockage of furniture. Yes.
Okay. And this is interior.
Yes.
Design.
Everything. You can get jewelry on Overstock. You can get clothes on Overstock. They sell everything on Overstock. Yeah. So
do you think it's a racket that they're getting into the property management business, which is much different than the business they're in right now?
I mean, at this point, I feel like my daughter will probably, start a page too off of like something. Everybody is, Your
daughter's going to come after your biz?
Whatever. I'm good with it.
Kenzie, I'll hire you. Just hit me up. All right. They're doing it through Hazari, which provides property managers several services for managing single home properties or multi-home complexes such as tenant screening.
So it is a separate division.
I mean, basically it's going to be digital stuff. It's going to be tenant screening. It's going to be communication, device with renters.
It sounds like it's going to be kind of like a VRBO type thing.
No, I don't know what you mean by that.
Because you can rent homes.
Oh, you can rent through this. But it's going to be a way for that smaller property manager to have, and there's a bunch of them. You can do Buildium. There's a whole bunch of softwares out there. Hazari is just another example. But it's an example. You're right. Yeah. You are right.
Thank you.
For the homeowner that's doing this small time thing, this property management deal, or an Airbnb, it's like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
imagine
what
that.
did it take? 36 episodes?
Wow.
Jesus.
One.
We got one there.
I made the board.
All right. So it's not a racket, you say?
No, I think it's whatever.
I think it's a racket because I didn't know who Overstock.com was.
Well, I just think you're a racket.
Racket number 3.
Oh, we were going to do the racket thing, remember?
Yeah, we don't have it
yet. We got to work on that.
We're going to get it when we come
well,
back
from
from
Anaheim. We have like
Anaheim.
a 9-hour plane flight. We could figure out the logistics of that.
Maybe somebody at the Tom Ferry Summit's going to hook us up.
With the rackets?
Yeah, with some type of thing.
No. Remember we were going to do like racket, bing,
Yeah.
like
almost like that game where like the little head Jack in the Box pops up.
Like do like that?
I don't know, something
Lord.
popping up. And then you like hit their head back down. What is that?
It's like
you,
oh my God,
they
what
pop
is that?
up. Their head.
No, remember that show? Like whammy.
There you go. There you go.
Oh
Racket number 3.
Yes.
Buyers say garages and kitchens are not as important as what when they're looking for a house.
Do you
remember what it is?
I do know what it is, but what did you think immediately?
No, I started thinking because garages and kitchens. I started thinking, is it bathroom? I started thinking of the house, and because to me, it's like bathroom is like I want a clean bathroom when I'm moving. I'm a bathroom freak.
Yeah, you want clean bathroom. You don't care about the kitchen.
So I wasn't thinking this, but it makes 100% sense.
Yep.
It's not a racket. It's schools. Buyers are ranking schools higher than the kitchen, than the garages. The towns that we work in, right? Like if you look up and down the Connecticut shoreline in the stretch that we mainly work, which would be like between New Haven and the Rhode Island border, there are 2 schools that are in the top 15 or so, the top 20 anyways, schools in Connecticut, public schools, Guilford and East Lyme. Those 2 towns are certainly seeing much bigger increases in property values over the last few years.
Right.
It's much more competitive to get in there at certain price points, right?
Yep.
Like the luxury is always a different ball game.
Right.
And then the towns that have rankings that aren't as good are certainly seeing that impact their property values. So,
for sure, because they can't even pass budgets.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's really so I guess what we have to disclose though too is living on the shoreline too. There's a lot of like seasonal residents too.
Yep.
So where it becomes really unfortunate are those people that are buying second homes in some of these towns, and they're actually allowed to vote. You're allowed to vote.
of course, they're voting no.
Right. So, but what I don't think they're understanding is that it has like
jamming the no.
And if you're not able to pass a school budget, it has a direct like effect 100% on your property value.
You're right.
The reason that you got that house so cheap was because the school can't even, like, the school blows.
You're actually right. It's in their best interest as a second homeowner
100% in their best interest.
To say, let's go ahead and invest in the school to...
Right. Especially if you got that house so cheap, the only way that you're going to be able to actually, like, increase value is to by, like, getting your budgets passed. Start passing your budgets. Like, I get it. Like, you don't want to pay a lot of tax on, like, your second home, but then maybe you shouldn't even be owning the second home. And I think what's really unfortunate is that you're really hurting these other kids and like families. Like there's one town that I used to live in and like I couldn't even sell my house there, but like I had to get my kids out because like, and there are so many families that are sort of like in those towns, and because like votes are being a little skewed, it's like throwing off the entire infrastructure of the town. But again, anyway, bottom line is pass your budgets because it's in the best interest of your property value.
You know what's also interesting? 10 years ago, 15 years ago probably, towns were like, can't accept any more kids in our school system. Now they're all, not all of them, a lot of them are looking for ways to get their enrollment up.
Right.
Because the age groups have changed and people aren't moving in and they want to have full, so they get all their money.
Right.
They want to have full, enrollment so they get that dough.
Right.
Got to jack it up.
Absolutely. It's a shame. It's a real big shame. I mean, even if you don't even have school-age kids, like the schools are just so important.
So I don't think this is a racket. We're going to link this one up as well. Tell us if this is the same in your marketplace.
What are you finding? Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously it's probably super different because I do know that, some parts of the areas of the country, like you almost have to go to like a private school because I just don't even think that the schools can. So, I mean, maybe they're not basing it on the schools because they know they're going to be going to private school anyway, but I'd love to know what everybody else is like finding or seeing.
Be on the lookout over the next couple days here this week, which is, what is this week?
It's the 30th.
This video is going to go out on July 31.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the first couple days of August, we will release the time and location of where we're going to do Real Word episode 37 in Anaheim. So if you're going to the T-Ferry Summit, or if you're just in the area of Anaheim, you're welcome to come by and ask
let us know what we should
questions.
explore. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited about
Absolutely.
California.
So stay tuned for that. We're going to send that out, and that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Jeremy will be in touch
Yes.
with your
Congratulations again,
Inman
Jeremy.
win.